bipolar type 1 disorder, bipolar type 2 disorder, major depressive disorder, dysthymia, and cyclothymia. I'm Dr. Michael Barnes, psychiatrist. You're interested in these topics. Let's go. So I developed something in medical school that I call the egg, and it kind of symbolizes these disorders, and I'm gonna use it to help explain what's going on here. See this line right here? This represents not being very depressed or not being manic. It's just kind of somebody whose mood is pretty stable, okay? This line right here represents depression. Why? Because it's below, okay? It's below the baseline line, so anything that's below there is going to represent depression in the egg. Now, this line represents mania, okay? Because it's elevated. So anything that's above that is going to represent mania, just to orient you to this egg. Now, if you have major depressive disorder, which is the first one on the list, it's going to look pretty much like this. You only go below, but you will drop all the way down. And you will reach the bottom, essentially. That represents major depression. Notice that it doesn't go above the midline. Now, moving on. Bipolar type 1 disorder. Bipolar type 1 disorder is characterized by dips in depression, very similar to major depression, but also what we call manic episodes that are defined very, very specifically. And so you can visualize it like this. Bipolar type 1 disorder also goes all the way down. Same idea, but they also will go all the way up. And they can be up here also. Okay? So they can be there, and that equals bipolar type 1, essentially. Follow me here. Now, bipolar type 2 is characterized by what we call hypomania. Okay, hypomania is basically a lighter version of mania, and these are folks that can, in some ways, be very productive and can harness it, but to people very close to them, you'll notice that it's a change from baseline that is not a good thing. So, to represent that here, bipolar type 2, let's use maybe this side. So with bipolar type 2, they also can get major depressive episodes all the way to the bottom, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw kind of another theoretical line here, a couple theoretical lines. And kind of like the mirror image of that. Okay? And with bipolar type 2, you don't go full manic. You get what's called hypomania, which I'll write here. Hypomania. And with the green. And hypomania means you don't go all the way manic, but you stay here. See that? And if I was going to kind of label this, maybe labeling it would be helpful. You know, I could just kind of say, you know, this is, major depressive disorder. Okay? And you can do the this one as bipolar 1. Excuse me. No. Excuse me. I take that back. This one is bipolar 1. Sorry. I wonder if anybody caught that. This is bipolar 1. Okay? And this one is major depressive disorder. Like that. And then if you were going to do that, so then this is bipolar type 2. Right here. Type 2. Okay. Now, moving on. Dysthymia. Dysthymia, is something that I learned years ago in medical school, and what happens is we tend to change the name of diagnoses. It's pretty annoying, if you ask me. So it used to be called dysthymia, now it's called persistent depressive disorder. That's why I wrote PDD here, if you guys are wondering. So this is basically like a mild depression, but it lasts long, unfortunately. Very common thing. So if we're going to represent that here in the chart, this is dysthymia right here. You get depressed, but not all the way. You're kind of like this, but very, very long term. Okay? So that's dysthymia. Okay. And then cyclothymia. So cyclothymia is like a hybrid, it has components of bipolar type 2 and components of dysthymia melded together, essentially. And the thing with cyclothymia is you kind of stay in this general area, okay? And I'll try to, it gets a little messy, but if you're following me, I'll put it here. With cyclothymia, you can get not full depression, but kind of like a mild depression like dysthymia, and then a hypomania like bipolar type 2. You see what I'm doing here? And again, it stays in this section, and that is cyclothymia. If you guys are still with me, I appreciate you guys.